Irbad, for this wonderful and then touching music. I really love it. I hope that my Ghanaian young guys who are into music can take clue and do something like this. Now, viewers, now we can, start taking some of your comment and contribution on our WhatsApp line. But please, for the sake of Allah, and then I'm in a very good mood today. Don't call the line. Just send WhatsApp. Naga makuda Allah, saboda Allah, ka ku kira line. Mai sremo mo biya enfre line. A WhatsApp message, contribution and then you in any language you can send them to me. Irbard, the president also highlights the issue of girl child education.
Yes, Sheikh.
As far as we are concerned, I think that we are not doing well when it comes to girl child education.
Contrary to conventional knowledge, I think we are doing great.
We are doing well.
You know, that is why Metro TV and others, you've stopped running the ad, send your girl child to school.
Okay.
We've evened the playing ground right now. First, there was a lot of testosterone in terms of our education. You could have a family of 6 people. 2 of the boys would go to school while the 4 would lag behind to become seamstresses or caterers. But now the girls are going to school.
It's not bad.
No, but Sheikh, now the girls are actually overshadowing us.
Good.
Yeah, when you go to many of them,
numbers,
yes,
and performance.
Exact. No numbers. I'll contest performance,
Okay.
but we've made a lot of progress in that regard. So I think a call like that for me is a bit stale, because we've evened the playing field now. In some institutions, you have more ladies than guys. You have more girls than boys. So therefore, we need to only call for better opportunities for both the boys and the girls. Heads of a good number of institutions are now women. So therefore, we've done well in that regard. We should only continue to call for an increase in the quality of education both boys and girls get.
Recently, Irbad, I watched a documentary on a sister station, GH1 to be precise. There is a lady in Kumasi. She is a student in one of the colleges of education. She is in her final year. I think 2 weeks ago, I launched an appeal for her on this network. And unfortunately for me, I never get any support. But it's dear to my heart. Irbad, I couldn't believe my ears and eyes that this girl is a head porter, Kaya Ye, a final year student in a college of education.
Wow.
And then when she narrated her ordeal, my children and my wife were so upset, and then they wanted me to do something for the lady. So I am still expecting people who want, because subhanallah.
You see,
then another girl, this time it's a good news, like you said. She was part of the quiz, the maths and science quiz from one of the northern schools.
And the one who had straight A's in the
WASI. Exactly, and she was awarded recently. I really want to meet this girl. You know why?
No.
Few years ago, Hattaral Fatal was invited to Laboni Secondary School, but because of his busy schedule, he asked me to go and represent him. When I went there, I saw something that is still in my memory. What did I see? There was a girl in that school who happens to be the girls' prefect in that school. The uncle brought the girl to me, and then she has a small book. I will tell you her name when I finish. She has a small book, The uncle was pulling her from one Muslim, Muslim scholar, Muslim leader to another, that she should just take their signatures in her small book and then see what they are doing, so that they become her role model.
Wow.
And no wonder she's married to one of our friends today.
Wow.
Nasiruddin from Kumasi.
Wow.
I hope you know Nasiruddin.
Of Paragon?
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's the lady, the poet. She's a poet, right?
Yeah. So later, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, when I saw her writing and now delivering speeches, at occasions, so I take delight in supporting girls that are doing well.
Now, Mia Sheikh, the Kaya Yo story is quite a poignant one.
Good.
It's emotional.
You are a Kumasi boy, so I think that a lot of people don't know that you are a Kumasi boy. And you have to help me to, at least, even if I get just 1,000 Ghana cedis, contribute to the ladies' education, I will be very, very happy.
Yeah, so the story is quite touching because, Ya Sheikh, for us gentlemen, if you are struggling through school, if you don't get support from relatives or loved ones, you don't have any other option. Yes, but for a lady to be a Kayayo, despite the fact that she has an opportunity to get money using other avenues, her story is quite touching.
This one is not that somebody just told me. It's really, I saw it.
And there are thousands of others that are struggling through school like that. So therefore, that is why we are doing what we are doing, Sheikh. We want to build a nation that is empathetic and sympathetic to the plight of young people. And therefore, student loans should be easy for struggling students to access. I don't remember the last time someone even mentioned student loans. So therefore, for a lady like this, there should be a cache of money running into a few thousands she can access. And then teacher training allowances too were not coming. So now that they are going to get a few,
I don't want to go there.
Yes, now that they are going to get a few hundreds,
slippery.
Yes, now that they are going to get a few hundreds of Ghana cedis, I'm sure she'll be able to support herself. Yeah.
Well, permit me to, this one, people might say is discriminatory, but that's the first message I have. Fortunately for me, you see, you are calling. I asked you not to call. It's from my elder brother, who happens to be the chief zongo of of Ashaman. He says, Assalamu alaikum. I wish to use your platform to wish my family, I hope I'm included in the family, good, friends and all Muslims in the world, please stop calling. Please stop calling. Friends and all Muslims in the world, special thanks, especially to my friend Martin Luther of Ashaman. God bless you. And finally, your guest, Irbard Ibrahim. Tell him I love him and I wish him well. It's from Chief Ibrahim Salis Suyaro from Ashama. Eid Mubarak.
Okay, thank you so much. Chief, Kula Am wa Antum bi Khair. We hope that by next year, by this time, you'll continue to serve your community the way you are doing. Good. And I to Barka the Salah ya Sheikh, to my mom.
I'll give you, I know you love your mom, Irbard.
Yeah.
The shoes, then I still remember, I'll come back to that.
Okay, Sheikh,
that one, it will be the khitam.
Okay, Sheikh,
so that
thank
it become khitam.
Thank you, Sheikh.
Missed. I have this wonderful one. Assalamu alaikum. Great discussion, Sheikh. Very, very insightful. Good to have Irbard on board. Today, Irbard, your name is coming on frequently. Good to have Irbard on board. He is a great asset to Muslim community, and I will call him the Michael Scofield of Ghana. Who is this Michael Scoff? You do know him?
I'm sorry, I don't.
It will be a great honor to meet your brother, my brother Irbard, one day. That one you have to come through me. I will just charge you something small, and then you will meet Irbard. Then I have these ones too. Good morning, dear host and journalist. I want to commend you for your for the round and then inclusive analysis in the speech given by His Excellency. I am Dr. Ayodele A. Alagbi, a non-Muslim linguist from Benin Republic. Kudos to the program. Thank you very much, Doc. We are also grateful for your message. Well, let me do some of the messages before I come back to you. Then I have this one from teacher Aite Gbawi Top Base. Happy Eid to you and your guest. I deem it great privilege to listen to Irbard. Oh, Irbard, today, dear, you are taking all the fans. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Happy Eid al-Adha to Muslims. Please, Sheikh, I am Adam Ali from Bolga. Oh, far away in Bolga. Sheikh, I wish to meet your host. I always admire his submission. Can I please get his telephone number? Please, you can call me after the show. Those of you calling, please stop. Otherwise, I will put the phone off and then we won't read any message again. We still have some number of messages. Eid al-Adha to all Muslims. To the former president JDM Mahama. This Arabia from Ejura, Ashanti region. Inshallah. Now, Eid Mubarak to the CEO of the National Ambulance Service, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria. This is from Wumpini Abdurrahman. Hey, Doc, I've not seen you in a very long time, Prof. Maybe you have to call me Prof. Professor Zakaria. I also have this one. This one, I've read it already. Please, those calling, stop calling the line. Good. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to wish my uncle, Honorable Boniface Abubakar Siddiq, Minister for Zongo and Inner City, a happy Eid al-Adha. Honorable Muhammad Tamim, DC for East Gunja. To my lovely family, may Allah accept our prayers. Ameen. From Sirawai Sisi Salaga from the northern region. Greater Accra, you are not sending your message. You are. I know you are the people calling, but I won't mind you. Those of you from the north, keep sending the messages. Now I also have this one. Eid Mubarak. I wish all Muslims happy Eid Mubarak. May Allah bless you all. No name. Then I also have this one. This is from Fati Adamu from Moshi Zongo in Kumasi. Eid Mubarak to you and your guests. Eid Mubarak to you, Fati Adamu. Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak to you and your guests. May Allah bless you. Don't forget, I also have some dedicated crew here with me who have defied the holiday and are here supporting me. So remember them when you are sharing your meats. They also deserve some of the meat. Happy Eid to you and all Muslims. I am Abdullahi Franklin, based in Hawaii, USA. My regards to all Muslims all over the world, and Allah bless you. Let me take two more, then we come back to Irbard. Fatih, you have sent another message, but I won't read it. I read the first one. Please stop calling and just send a WhatsApp message. Hi, Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak goes to Imam of Ekasua Bengal Mosque and the Jama. This is the last one. I will come back again. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Kindly permit me to use your lovely platform. You want to con me to wish my family and loved ones, more especially brother Daniel Atia, a blessed Eid al-Adha. May the Almighty Allah bless you all, from Gafaru in Accra. Okay, we'll come back to the messages. Where did you stop?
Yes, we were talking about the girl child. And the fact that we've evened the playing ground, and therefore we should be, you know, accentuating the need for quality education for both boys and girls, because I don't see any female deficit in our educational sector currently.
But one thing I have observed is that from the primary level going to the junior high school level, the number keeps dropping. So how do we maintain the numbers so that we have a lot of...
I think it's a pyramid for both boys and girls. A lot of people start elementary education and then they get to JHS, and per the records, about 460,000 and some change people graduated from JHS. Not the same number will write WASI. So that number will reduce to like 150,000 to 200,000. And when you get to the university, it reduces further. So it bodes well for both males and females. But nature has its own way of taking the women off the educational scene. Some would want to get married in their teens. Others would want to get married before they would go to college. Some would also want to get married immediately after the first degree. So they don't go to graduate school until they've given birth to a child or two. So therefore, nature has its own way of taking the women off the scene. But it is a natural phenomenon that the higher we get, the more we whittle down the number of people who are accessing higher education.
These days I see a lot of married women that are distance degrees, doing distance degrees.
No, Sheikh, the women have become so aggressive about education, and that is positive aggression. You can see a woman that is, you know, pregnant. Maybe she's going to be delivered very soon, but she's writing her exam.
Mothers writing exams.
Some go with their babies. While the babies are crying, they still want to access education. It's quite impressive, and we'll give them a tap on the back. But I believe, let's continue to say we need education for all our children, not only the girl child.
I'll come back to the Kumasi girl. Now, Irbard, now let's zero now on the celebration itself. We saw the significant, the symbolic slaughtering done by the imam, and the announcer says now permission is granted to everybody. You can go home and slaughter. So what you mentioned, the kinds of animal that can be slaughtered. So when the slaughtering takes place, or on a typical Eid al-Adha day, what is expected of Muslims?
Yeah, Sheikh, I was saying on Radio Ghana behind the headlines yesterday, we are Africans. And anytime the blood of an animal is shed, there is a notion that we are making a sacrifice to the gods. In Islam, we don't entertain the idea of paganism or polytheism. This is a world away from what traditionalists do. That is why Allah says in the Quran, لَنْ يَنَالَ اللَّهَ لُحُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. The meat of the animals you sacrifice on this day and their blood do not get to God Almighty. The only thing that gets to God Almighty is the piety and obedience with which you carry out this religious injunction. So therefore, it is not too much about the size of the animal or the animal that is slaughtered. It's about what it symbolizes. And we know that when Ibrahim, after so many years of trying to get a child, got his child Ismail, even though biblical anecdotes say it was Ishaq or Isaac, we say it was Ishmael. when the child had only grown into a teenager, able to help his father, Allah showed Abraham in a dream that Abraham was slaughtering Ishmael. So when he informed his son, he said, Ya bunayya inni ara fil manami anni adbahuka fanzur madha tara qala ya abati fa'al ma tu'mar satajiduni insha'Allahu min as-sabirin. Said, my son, I saw myself in a dream decapitate you. He said, Daddy, do what you are ordered. You will find me in that difficult situation amongst the patient. So when they had, gone to the mountains, and then the dad was ready to slaughter his son Ishmael, there was a call from the skies saying, Ya Ibrahim, qad saddaqta ru'ya. You have made good on what you saw, the vision you saw in your dream. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala atoned for the sacrifice of Ishmael, and then supplanted him with a ram. وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِذِبْهٍ عَظِيمٍ. And then we ransomed him with a huge ram. So therefore, a ram is the ideal animal for sacrifice on this day. That is why His Excellency the President witnessed the slaughtering of a full-fledged ram.
When we were young, we were dipping our fingers into the blood and then placing it on our forehead.
Were you Indian? Maybe you were watching a lot of Indian movies at the time.
It's ignorance.
And then sometimes the blood coagulates. It solidifies.
Yes.
And so therefore people think there's some essence. No. The blood is inconsequential. We don't need it. The symbolism of the act to commemorate the travels of Ibrahim alayhi salam, is what is important to us.
For most of my viewers, they are not too much interested in the slaughtering, but they are rather interested in what happens after, what happens to the meat. So what should happen to the meat? I believe my crew are interested in this question.
Exactly, and my good friend Wolanyo has already warned me. The bull I slaughtered in Kumasi, I should bring the meat, to Accra. Yes. And Sheikh, you are to divide the meat into 3.
Okay.
You and your immediate family can make use of a third of the meat. The second third can go to your friends. And the last third can go to the poor people. And you don't cherry pick who a poor person is. Muslims, Christians, traditionalists, Jews, just share the meat. And some people hoard the meat. He has slaughtered a bull, he hoards the meat till the following year. That is not Islamic. Share as much of the meat as possible so that you put smiles on everybody's face.
In fact, I fry a chunk of my meat, keep it for my kids. Not too much though, but anytime they...
No, some people eat the salah meat all year round.
Oh, how?
All year round,
yeah, you know, when I was a young boy in Kumasi, I know there is a formula for keeping it. It's fried, kept in
a utensil, a huge pan.
Yeah, with some oil.
Yeah.
That preserve it for a very long time.
Yes, so if you really want to preserve the meat, and Sheikh, for me, that is why I don't eat. I'm not a vegetarian, but I can go this whole day on this whole period without eat. I eat meat every day.
Okay.
And so don't put too much emphasis on the meat and what happens after the slaughter. The symbolism is what is important. That
and the sharing aspect.
Share to people. That is why you are not even an allergy. Everybody sees you and says, allergy, where is my meat? You know, it's so beautiful. It helps with national cohesion. We do things together. But I'll reiterate a call I made last year. That 1 year for Eid al-Adha is woefully inadequate.
1 day.
1 day for Eid al-Adha is woefully inadequate.
But we are inundated with a lot of holidays.
No, but yeah, Sheikh, no, we should have our own share. Yes, this particular holiday, I think it's, is Republic Day as well.
Especially the day coming on Friday, it will be too much for Muslims.
No, yeah, Sheikh, we need more than 1 day.
Because Friday is already
No, but we are not guaranteed that. We are only fortunate that this is coming on a Friday. So if I'm from Pungurbu Yoyo, for example, I can travel, go have fun with my family and come back. What if Eid al-Adha falls midweek on a Wednesday? You're an office worker, you do a white-collar job. You leave the office late Tuesday, you have to travel to the north, slaughter your sheep or your cow. They dress the cow and bring out the entrails. They dress and the meat. You have fun with your family. All of that within 24 hours. Then you report back to work on Thursday. So it's woefully inadequate. It's a plea we are making. We've made it before. We will repeat it. That if the state can give us an extra day, for Eid al-Fitr, it's understandable. There isn't too much work. But for Eid al-Adha, slaughtering a cow is not easy. Working on the meat and all that, it's not easy. So therefore, we need an additional day. We know as a country we have so many holidays, but in the with the principle of fairness, yeah, Sheikh, before we go for Christmas, we have like 2 weeks to prepare in the lead up to the festivity. Even beyond that, there are some weeks for us to rest. We aren't asking for too much. We do the same for Easter. We are calling for an additional day, not for even Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, so that we can have the peace of mind to spend time with our family.
I hope the politicians are listening.
Yeah, Sheikh. So fundamentally, you share the meat and you go for Barka da Salah. And of late, because families are becoming very nuclear, you don't go to uncles and aunties to go for Barka da Salah. You wear your best. Then you go for Barka da Salah, you greet, you know, your next of kin, and there are relatives you've not seen in a long time.
Exactly.
You get to spend time together with them.
I think that is a good tradition, except that maybe it's being usurped. The children don't know the essence of the Barka da Salah. We have to educate them. So you see that on the day of Eid, for instance, children have they go around house to house begging in the name of Barka da Salah. Maybe parents should sit their wards or children and educate them. Oh, go greet Uncle Irbard, Uncle Mike, or this thing. Just, I mean, to be in the spirit of Eid, and then to be able to also see people who, because of their tight schedule, you've not been able to see that. And then one significant thing that I saw when I was growing is the fact that my late auntie, may Allah have mercy on her, Hajia Bakua in Kumasi, on Eid day, I have seen her do this a lot. She moved to neighbors, I mean, people try to reconcile with neighbors, ask for forgiveness of their shortcomings, of their, trespasses and stuff. Don't you think it's a very good idea?
Shout outs to Sani. I have a friend called Sani. He works with First Allied Bank. He's been a confidant for some years. He invited me to Kokrantumi in the eastern region.
I know Kokrantumi very well.
Was it 4 years ago or 5 years ago? To witness the Eid. What they do in Kokrantumi is that after the Imam has led you in the prayer in the field, nobody picks a car. The whole Muslim community in the area will walk
and lead him home.
Yes.
Good.
Will actually walk to the Christian or traditional chief in the area and greet and say, we are just from Eid.
Oh, wonderful.
So beautiful.
Very, very beautiful.
So you would see the Christians line up on the shoulders of the street just looking at the Muslims.
Oh, taking and the compliments.
Exactly.
MashaAllah.
But Sheikh, you come to the Eid ground in a car, then you whisk away your wife and your children. They don't even get to socialize. I think institutions
for the past
like
10 years, I have never spent Eid home on the Eid day. I only go home after Eid.
Yes, exactly. So I think we symbolically, the head of state or his deputy or the vice president would always go to the Black Star Square. But we can replicate what is happening in smaller towns.
On the local
like
level.
We can do a procession, for example, through cantonments, East Legon, from the Independence Square. And again, there's so much work to do at home. That is why I'm still calling for an additional day. And so we can actually go past the various churches and, you know, share felicitations and goodwill with our counterparts, all in the spirit of engendering national cohesion. And a small town like Kokrantumi is doing just that.
I know Kokrantumi, close to Tafo. Let's take some messages again, Irbard. This one says, why are Muslim leaders silent about the population of Muslims in Ghana? The Christian intentionally put false figures to claim they are in the majority. I don't think it is so. But Irbad will address this your concern. Oh, this one is too much. I can't read all, but let me try. Eid Mubarak. I wish you and your family in all endeavors of life. May Allah accept our righteous deed. Eid Mubarak. This is a long one. Let me be fair and read that of others too. Eid Mubarak to you, Imam Abbas, and your guest Irbard Ibrahim. I appreciate your program. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you too. Who is this Malia Abdullah who has been calling the line? Malia, please stop calling my line. Then I also have this one. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. May Allah accept our prayers. Salam to my father, Mr. and Mrs. Abo, Sheikh Ali Yasa in Kumasi by Muhammad from Sakumono. This one too. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Imam and your panelist, who really inspires me a lot. I'm Yakubu Haj C from Kumasi. Eid Mubarak to all Muslims around the world. Then my regards to your guest Irbard. Tell him to keep up the good works. Allah will see him through the challenges and obstacles in all the projects he's undertaking now. He should be focused. Happy Salah to Irbard and your good self. You guys are doing great job here. Don't forget my crew. They are also helping us to make a good show. Eid Mubarak to all Muslims. Irbard is a role model to my little boy Mubarak. I like him. He's very eloquent. Just send me a picture of Mubarak so that I can show it to Irbad. Thank you very much. Let me take a couple of messages. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Samira and I wish Muslim Eid Mubarak, especially my family and all Rahma nurses. Rahma nurses, where are you? Let me take this one too. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak to my family, especially Mr. Ababa, Amai, Adam, and Sise. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To Dr. Muhammad Bashir. This one says, I'm a Christian, but I like watching your program. We also love you. We are grateful. Eid Mubarak to Dr. Bashir, Muhammad Bashir, and all his family members. May Allah bless them. This is from Halima. May Allah bless you too. Ali Waisa from Ningwa. Eid Mubarak to Al Qalam Institute team and my wife, Shi Waisa. Imam Abbas, hope to see you and your guest at Fiqh or Love of Love Part 3 remix event. Is from 6 to 8 October. Quranic competition with Sheikh Zakir Mahmoud from UK. He will be on my show here. I'm aware of this program. Let me pick the last two so I go back to Irbad. Assalamu alaikum ya Sheikh. Eid Mubarak to all Muslims around the world. My name is Tuntia from Ashaiman. That's but this one, Ashama, President Kufo some time ago said it is the city within the city. So I'm very proud of Ashama. Just want to say I'm happy your guest mentioned the fact that we need an additional day for celebrating Eid. Irbard ya susa muku inda ke muku kaikaikin. Now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi hajj. Must one necessarily be of a certain age before performing Eid al-Adha ritual? Assalamu alaikum to you, your host, your crew, and then, yes, I don't have to forget my crew, the Muslim Ummah in the world. This IB Jaula, Kwembe, near Salga. That's very far away. This is my last one before I come to the last batch of the messages. Last one. Assalamu alaikum, Imam. Eid Mubarak to all my family, especially to my mom and then Mrs. Usman. Irbard.
Yeah,
now,
I thank people for the well wishes, Sheikh. Courtesy people like you and my Christian friends like Bernard Avle, who put me on radio to discuss international relations the first time, and Bright Nanamfo of TV3, and then the crew at Multimedia and others, and Despite Group. For a good part of the past half a decade, I've been around as a young man, contributing what little I can to the national.
Bernard Avle. Yes. I love him. In fact, I love the way he dressed. I wish I could also dress like that.
Yes, yes. So I'm so grateful to people of the press. I'm an average young man. There is nothing extraordinary. But when you put the mic before me or put the camera, fixate it on me, I share the little I can, and it means a lot to people. So I'm grateful. People meet me at the gas station and they say, my child takes you as a role model. In fact, some have actually named their kids after me. I hope and pray they grow into better citizens than I am, so that collectively, the old and the young, we do the best we can for the prosperity and progress of this great nation of ours.
Inshallah. Irbard, now let's talk a little about our youth. And then some of the challenges confronting the youth, and then the way forward.
I think, I don't know. When you look at the demographic, I don't like it when people always paint a negative picture, because I belong to that bracket. Yes, we are doing fairly well, yeah, Sheikh. We are doing very well. The former administration had a good number of ministers and deputy ministers that were young. This new administration has a melange of the old and the young. We are doing fairly well. And there are social clubs all across the country helping in humanitarian work. People are doing social work. We are doing volunteerism. Only a few, a fringe group within the youth demographic would want to engage in things that would sully our reputation. But we are doing fairly well, and I believe the state should continue to give us the support so that those that are entrepreneurial, there's a lot of talent, yeah, Sheikh. There is a lot of talent in this country. The state just needs to create the conducive enabling environment. Our young people have now shot a rocket into space. We have our own satellite.
Yeah, from Koforidua.
Exactly, right? Yes. So we are beaming with talent, but we are just like treasures. A treasure that is stacked under the bed can never be discovered. More opportunities should be created. Telcos are invested in a lot of entertainment reality shows. We can shift a little into academia. And I'm happy the National Science and Maths Quiz was given a lot of publicity this time around. These are the things we can do so that we can unearth a lot of intellectual talent within the youth. We are doing fairly well, yeah, Sheikh.
So what special intervention do you think Muslim leadership should embark on to raise the standard of our youth?
I think we had a serious
deficit. What I see now is individuals making effort to rise.
Yeah, but we need a synergy. Sheikh, for every young person that has made it, quote and unquote, you realize it was as a result of motivation that was not inflicted, generated. So a lot of young people, our forebears like Sheikh Niyama, who did so well, Sheikh Armiya, Shuaib, Sheikh Sibawai, our own brother Zagun, brother Adam Yunus,
Dr. Yunus Dumbe.
Yes, my senior brothers of the Ghana Muslim Academy. These are individual efforts, brother Kawawa and all that. But we need a synergy.
My lecturer from Dr. Abbas Omar from the Arabic section of the modern
Sheikh Abbas,
yes.
We met in Legon.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are...
He has been our mentor.
Exactly.
In fact, he took interest in me and a lot. So many advice he gave, I didn't work later. When I went back to them, it really helped me a lot.
Exactly.
So I appreciate him, and I'm grateful for the mentorship. Many
of the youth that have become shining examples have not had the complement of institutional backing. An individual, Sheikh Bagaya, for example, he goes to Libya to study, he comes home.
Wonderful friends
I think
I have.
Sheikh Bagaya is an underutilized resource. My God.
He doesn't have time for himself.
Yeah, he's a solid material, and I think the states can continue to make use of. These are the forebears. Those were people who would come to University of Ghana and talk to us when we were students at that time. But we need a synergy. Those efforts need to coalesce. That was what the AKP party of Erdogan did in Turkey. It was a deliberate effort to push the agenda they've been able to push today. So therefore, we can start from somewhere. In Kumasi, we have Mabitat. You could spend 2 or 3 days in an institution learning the Quran and others. In Accra too, we need to have replicas of that, so that we can come together. Around the Nima, Newtown and Mambobi areas, we see a lot of young people coming together to form read camps, social clubs and all that. We need a synergy. They are doing great. They can actually come together. Then we need institutional backing. The office of the National Chief Imam, the office of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the office of the Ahmadi community, the office of the Tijaniya Muslim community, so that our young people will continue to shine. Don't be under any illusion that the Zongo community has a dearth or scarcity of talent. There are lots of people that are much better than some of us who have been outdoored, and we just need institutional backing. And various institutions I've mentioned should be able to create that conducive, enabling environment.
Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll do our final part, read some messages, and then leave the scene for Juma, so that our crew can also go and rest. So, producer, we are ready to go for a short break, so that we can come to do the